Thanks for joining us again here at E3. We are, of course, the commentators for Rogue Gaming, which you can find at Rogue Media Gaming, drop the G, on Twitter. I'm Nathan Holtz. You can find me at Nathan Holtz. And this is Al Wasserman. You can find him at TinCan1099, all on Twitter. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Sony presser. You can see we're standing
in front of the Sony booth.
Which looks amazing, and it's gigantic. It looks like they're going all out on VR down there. But let's talk about the games from yesterday. So they started off with a really weird intro, prom scene with a banjo player to bring a little bit of the story of Last of Us 2 to life. What did you think of what we saw of Last of Us 2?
What we saw of the game was awesome. A lot of it, we move forward in kind of Ellie's story, it looks like. She was part of the original one, more grown up, out there doing some sort of more exploration. Very stealth feel to that game, apparently. Looked a lot, in some ways, like Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider that's coming out. But the combat was, when you went into combat, it was chaotic, it was visceral, it was brutal in every way imaginable for a video game. Plus that cinematic style without the HUD, it really makes you feel like you're playing a movie as opposed to playing a video game. So it looked amazing. I think, again, as an Xbox player, I missed The Last of Us, the first one. Likely going to miss The Last of Us 2, and that's kind of sad for me.
Yeah, a reason to invest maybe in a PlayStation, which is also discounted right now. If you're paying attention during E3, I think it's like a $50 discount, including some of the special editions, so that's definitely worth checking out. They did announce a couple other things that are important, but they didn't do any like big trailers for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You can pre-order that now. When you do, you get the maps, or the most popular maps from Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, for Black Ops 3, which is also free to download if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Additionally, they told us that the Destiny 2, they showed us a trailer for Forsaken, its next DLC, and they threw out a fun fact. The community has thrown over 6 billion hours into that game, but no other like big announcements there. So we're going to get to the next big thing that they talked about. They brought out a wood flute player. They kind of gave us the Silk Road Ensemble treatment there almost, to talk about the ghost of Tashimua. I'm probably completely messing that up.
Probably, I would too.
It looked gorgeous. What did you think of it?
It looked amazing. It had the feel sort of an Assassin's Creed game in some ways, with that kind of third-person view. The combat, again, brutally visceral, cutting people, arms off and heads off. But it's that samurai warrior, kind of the lone fighter traveling through the wastelands or whatever the game ends up being. But it looked amazing. The visual effects with the falling leaves and all of the environmental effects were beautiful. Definitely a game that would be worth investing in if you had a PS4.
Fair enough. And I thought it was really interesting. We did see a bit of the story. A samurai who is dealing with some betrayal, like right off the bat, in feudal Japan during the Mongol invasions, which is a very interesting time in history, which I think can make for a really great storyline and a really interesting game.
Good set piece.
Yeah. Then the big thing that everybody was waiting for, Death Stranding. This is the most bizarre looking game I've seen in a very long time. I'm not sure what the point of it is yet. I know that you're some sort of delivery person in a post-apocalyptic like wasteland with weird ghost creatures. It looks like they just let somebody with a beautifully creative and interesting mind just like run free with all the ideas they had Did it get you interested in playing? Will you buy a PlayStation to play this game?
It's been 3 years, and I still have no idea what this game is. Hideo Kojima, who is doing this game, creator of all the Metal Gear franchise, the Metal Gear Solid franchise, this is him unhinged. He is not tethered by the constraints that he had before when he was creating the Metal Gear games. So it's interesting. Norman Reedus plays, it looks like the protagonist in the game. As you mentioned, kind of a post-apocalyptic UPS guy. He's carrying packages on his back. He uses robots, drones to help manage all of that. And then there's this weird baby in a jar. And how does that affect these shadow creatures that you mentioned? How does that play into the world? It's very, very strange. It's to the point where it's so strange. I don't know if I'm interested or if I'm aghast at what it is. But I'm not in on it. But we'll see how that looks later, probably.
Yeah, Baby in a Jar didn't sell me. You know,
it's a good band name, though, right? Baby in a Jar.
Yeah, I do recall seeing one scene where there was like some sort of interaction with light, maybe pushing the ghost away or lighting the way so that you could see the ghost and maybe get around him. So definitely some stealth elements there, but still not enough to really have a good idea what this is.
What it is.
Yeah. And I dropped my book, so let me pick that up because I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, how could I forget? It's a shame we don't have our Daily Bugle with us because it's the new Spider-Man game. I got to see your reaction in person, and you were smiling ear to ear. It looked like you were excited.
Yeah.
It looks very intense. The Sinister Six, or one of the versions of the Sinister Six, out for Spider-Man.
Yep.
What do you think about this?
The game is beautiful, and it's built by the same people who did Sunset Overdrive, which was a game exclusive to Xbox at Xbox One at launch, which was critically lauded, but nobody played, just because for whatever reason it never caught on. So it uses a lot of that same technology, that traversal of the world where you can go anywhere. You saw a little bit of it while he was climbing walls and slinging between mine shafts and things like that. The combat is very reminiscent of all the Batman Arkham games, so you're using a combination of combat and gadgets, and in Spidey's case, webs, to either hold your opponents down or incapacitate them in some way. So if I was going to buy a PS4, this would probably be the game that's going to get me in. It looks amazing. As you mentioned, the Sinister Six, a new take on the Sinister Six, it looks like. The character models are beautiful. Great renditions of those characters that have been in numerous other Spider-Man IP. So definitely one of those ones that is, I think, was most highly anticipated of the show, and I think it delivered big time.
Yeah. And we didn't see Dr. Octopus in the trailer, but your take, are we going to see him?
Yeah, I think the villains that we saw, Rhino, Vulture, Electro, they all work for Doc Ock. In the comics, the Sinister Six is kind of formed by Doc Ock as a way to get Spider-Man and remove him from the equation.
Okay. So that's it for the Sony presser reaction from us. Stay tuned to all of our E3 content. We'll be here all week. Again, that's Rogue Media Gaming. Drop the G on Twitter. Nathan Holtz and Tin Can 1099. Thanks for joining us.